Hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Sit down, please. I'd like to speak English today too, to improve my speaking skill. Let's get it started. Today, it is March 8th, 2023. It's on Wednesday and sunny. How are you spending Wednesday? Most of the people, Wednesday is in the middle of the week. And I'm sure you have already got used to the lifestyle in a week after day off on Sunday and Saturday. How are you spending Wednesday? Do you like Wednesday? How do you like Wednesday? Do you hate Wednesday or like Wednesday? Or do you have a day off today? Or have you got the paid leave today? It is said that junk food has high calories. On the other hand, it has little nutrition. In order to get enough nutrition, I was told to eat a variety of food. In order to obtain enough nutrition, I was told to eat a variety of food. So as to obtain enough nutrition, I was told to eat a variety of food. According to the nutritional experts, hijiki, seaweed, has more calcium than milk. I'm not sure. From a nutritional perspective, I was told to eat a variety of food. From the nutritional perspective, I was told to eat a variety of food, including vegetables. When we were an elementary school student, we had the opportunity to eat lunch with nutritional experts 2 or 3 times a year. We had 2 or 3 opportunities to eat lunch with the nutritional experts and listen to them explaining the food, nutrition, and so on. We had 2 or 3 opportunities to eat lunch with the nutritional experts, in which they explained about the nutrition and what we should avoid eating, what we should eat in order, and so on. Nutritional experts, nutritional perspective, nutritional perspective. From nutritional perspective, I was told to eat a variety of food, to eat a variety of food, to eat a variety of food, to eat a variety of food. To eat varieties of food. To eat varieties of food. We had 3 time opportunities to eat lunch with nutritional experts, in which we listened to the explanation about food from them. Nutritional experts. Nutritional experts. Nutritional experts. Nutritional knowledge. Nutritional knowledge. Do you have much of nutritional knowledge? Nutritional knowledge? Nutritional. Nutritional notices we have to follow. Nutritional knowledge. Nutritional balance. Nutritional balance is very important when it comes to food, especially. Nutritional balance. Take nutritional balance. Nutritional balance. Take nutritional balance. Taking a nutritional balance is very important. Taking a nutritional balance is very important. Nutritional. What are regarded as nutritious food? Nutritious food. What are regarded as nutritious food? What are regarded, seen, viewed as nutritious food? Nutritious food. Nutritious. Nutritious. What food are regarded as nutritious? Nutritious. Are vegetables nutritious? Are vegetables nutritious? Junk food might be high calorie, but not be nutritious much enough. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert, so I don't know. Nutritious. What are nutritious food? What are nutritious cuisine? Are vegetables nutritious? We had 2 or 3 time opportunities to eat lunch with a nutritionist, and we listened to the nutritionist explaining about food. Nutritionist. 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 What made you want to be a nutritionist? What made you want to be a nutritionist? What made you would like to be a nutritionist? What made you want 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 to be a what made you want to be a nutritionist? What made you want to be a nutritionist? What made you want to be a nutritionist? Nutritionist. Nutritionist. Nutrition. Nutritionist. 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 The nutritionist advised me to eat the cuisine taking a balance, not only eating the rice continuously, but eat all of the portions fairly, evenly. The nutritionist advised me not to eat the rice a lot at once, but eat all of the portions fairly. The nutritionist advised me not to eat one food a lot at once, but to eat all of the food fairly. The nutritionist advised me not to eat one food a lot at once, but to eat all of the food fairly, taking a balance. The nutritionist advised me not to eat one food a lot, but to eat all of the food fairly by taking a balance. Nutritionist. What made you want to be a nutritionist? What made you want to be a nutritionist? Nutritionist. If only I had 2 or 3 years younger, I would enroll in kindergarten. I wish I were a bird. I would fly to your window and wake you up every morning. I wish I had accepted the offer. I wish I had accepted the offer. I wish I had accepted the offer. Accepted the offer. Accepted the offer. I wish I had accepted the offer. I wish I had accepted the offer. Accepted the offer. I wish I had accepted the offer. Accepted the offer. I wish I had accepted the offer. Accepted the offer. Accepted the offer. I wish I had accepted the offer. I wish I had accepted the offer. If I had accepted the offer, I would be working for the company now. If we hadn't contacted each other, if we hadn't shared our contact information, we couldn't have contacted now. We wouldn't be able to contact now. If we hadn't shared our contact information with each other, we could not get in touch with each other now. If we hadn't contacted our information, if we hadn't shared our information, contact information at that time after the event, we couldn't get in touch with each other now. If we hadn't shared our contact information after the event, if we hadn't shared our contact information after the event, we couldn't get in touch with now. I'm at the risk of failing the business. I'm at the risk of failing the examination. Endangered species are at risk of extinction. Some rare animals are at the risk of extinction. Some rare animals are at the risk of extinction. Some rare animals are put at risk. Some rare animals are put at risk. Don't put yourself at risk. But I think unless we put ourselves at risk, we cannot grow. Whenever we challenge, we need to put ourselves at risk. Without putting ourselves at risk, we cannot challenge. Challenging means to put ourselves at risk. That's why many people are afraid of challenging, ending up no challenges. Challenging means putting ourselves at risk. Challenging means putting ourselves at risk. Challenging means putting ourselves at risk. Hmm. 'Some rare animals are put at risk. Some rare animals are put at risk. Some rare animals put at risk. Don't put me at risk. Some rare animals are put at risk. Some rare animals put at risk. Some rare animals are put at risk. Some rare animals are put at risk. Challenging. Challenging means putting ourselves at risk of making a mistake and so on. Challenging means putting ourselves at risk of failing, making a mistake and so on. Challenging means putting ourselves at risk of making a mistakes, failure, and so on. Challenging means putting ourselves at risk of failing. We need to put ourselves at risk to a certain extent to challenge, to make our dreams come true, to grow, and so on. But it is not a good idea to approach the coastline when the typhoon is approaching by putting ourselves at risk. It is a different meaning. Have you been infected with flu? Have you been infected with flu? Common cold often infects me because I have a weakened immune system. Some viruses are strong enough to infect others quickly. Some viruses are so strong enough to infect others quickly. The exodus during the holidays might infect many people during the trip. The exodus during the holidays might infect others. A lot. Lots. Many. Wearing a mask will prevent us from infecting others to a certain extent, but not perfectly. Wearing a mask will be a measure to prevent us from getting infected to a certain extent, to some degrees, to some extent, but not perfectly. Wearing a mask is one of the measures to protect us from getting infected to a certain extent. Wearing a mask is a measure to prevent us from infecting others to a certain extent, to some degrees, to some extent. I don't want you to infect me during the examination term. I don't want to be infected with any viruses during the examination term. I booked a single room, although I usually stay in a guest house in a dormitory room, but this time I booked a single room in order to avoid getting infected during the examination term. Some diseases do not infect others. When I got flu, I stayed at home for fear that I would infect others, lest I should infect others, in case I should infect others. When I got flu, I stayed at home for fear that I should infect others, lest I should infect others, in case I should infect others. The word I often heard in the past 2 years is infection. The word I often heard in the past 2 years is infection. Is it infectious disease or not? Infectious disease and infectious disease, contagious disease and infectious disease, like something. Infectious disease and infectious disease and infectious disease and infectious disease, infectious, contagious and infectious disease, infectious disease. Those who infected with some particular infectious diseases are secluded to stop the spread. I was surprised to know that air is also included in fluid. I was surprised to know that air is also included in the fluid. Liquid and gas. Liquid and gas are included in fluid. I was surprised to know that both liquid and gas are included in fluid. Fluid. fluid? Are there fluids in Mars too? Are there fluids in Mars too? Are there fluids in other planets? Asteroid, small planets, asteroid. What are the objects included in fluid? What are the objects? What are the objects classified as fluid? What are the objects? What are the objects classified as fluid? Fluid. What are the objects classified as fluid? Ice is not included in fluid, right? Ice is not included in fluid, right? And liquid and gas are included in fluid, right? Something fluid was detected in the planet. Some fluids are detected, found out, discovered in the small planet, asteroid. The possibility that there are some fluids in the planet, in the asteroid. Which objects are classified as fluid? Which objects are classified as fluid? What are the common things classified as fluid? What are the common and more concise objects classified as fluid? Some fluid objects were obtained from the smaller planet. I was surprised to know that gas is also classified as fluid. I was surprised to know that gas also classified as fluid. Fluid object was discovered from the asteroid. Fluid objects was discovered from the asteroid. Is the object fluid or solid? Is the object fluid or solid? Is the object fluid or solid? Water, liquid, and gas are fluid. Liquid and gas are fluid. Fluid. Members are researching fluid objects in the research center. Water is solidified at 0 degrees Celsius. Water is solidified at 0 degrees Celsius. But water is also melt at 0 or 1 degree Celsius and turning fluid. Water can become both fluid and solid depending on the temperature. Water can become both fluid and solid. Water can be both fluid and solid according to the temperature. What do you think of the seniority system? What do you think of the seniority system? Seniority system has been collapsing or already completed collapsing. I'm not sure. What do you think of seniority system? He is my seniority by 5 years. He is my seniority by 7 years. He is seniority to me by 3 years. He is seniority to me by 3 years. He is my seniority 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 by 3 years. To my surprise, she is my seniority by 20 years, although she looks the same as my age. Are you really senior to me? But you look so young. Are you really senior to me? Are you really senior to me? You look so young. She is my senior by 5 years. She is senior to me by 5 years. I am senior to her by 5 years. I am senior to her by 5 years. I am senior to her by 3 years. She is junior to me by 5 years. She is junior to me by 3 years, 5 years. She is junior to me by 3 years. She is junior to me by 3 years. She is junior to me by 3 years. My cousin is junior to me by 3 years. My cousin is junior to me by 2 years. My relative is junior to me by 3 years. Senior official. Are you getting along with your senior colleagues? Are you getting along with your senior coworkers? I asked my senior colleague to give me a day off. I'm getting along with my senior colleagues, but not younger colleagues. Some people have already been vaccinated 5 times. Some people have finished the 5th vaccination already. Some people have been finished with the 5th vaccination. Some people have already got the 5th vaccination. 5th vaccination. 5th vaccination. Have you vaccinated? Have you been vaccinated? The doctor vaccinated me. When I got the first vaccination, I didn't feel the pain, but I felt a little pain on the second. Have you been vaccinated? Some people have already been vaccinated 5 times. Some people have already been vaccinated. 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 The doctor vaccinated me. The doctor vaccinated me. The doctor vaccinated me. In winter, more and more people will be vaccinated against food virus. In winter, many people will get vaccinated in preparation for food virus. Many people prepare for winter viruses by getting vaccinated. Have you been vaccinated? Have you got vaccinated against the virus? Food virus. Some people get vaccinated against food virus in preparation for food virus. Some people get vaccinated in preparation for food virus. The level of pain differs from the doctors vaccinating my body, vaccinating me. The level of pain differs from the doctors injecting me. The level of the pain differs from the doctors. The level of the pain of the vaccination differs from the doctors. When I got the first vaccination, I didn't feel pain at all when the doctor vaccinated me. But the second, I felt a little pain when the doctor vaccinated me. So the level of the pain of the vaccination is dependent on the doctors. Maybe. I don't know. And with other conditions. Hmm. Vaccination rate is high now. Many people have already got vaccinated. Vaccination rate is already high now. The government rushed to increase the vaccination rate a few years ago. Vaccination rate is very high now. Most of the population have already got the first vaccination. There are many kinds of vaccine available now. There are many kinds of vaccine available now. Vaccine against flu virus. Vaccine against flu virus. Vaccine against flu virus. Vaccine against flu virus. Vaccine. Vaccine. Vaccine against flu virus. Vaccine against common cold. Do you know how many vaccines are there? Do you know how many vaccines are there? How much is the vaccine? Is it covered by insurance? How much is the vaccine? Is it covered by the insurance? I still remember having a hair situation with the flu because I didn't get the vaccine. I still remember having a nightmare with the flu virus. My temperature went up to 40 degrees Celsius because I didn't get the vaccination. I didn't get the vaccine beforehand, so I got the flu. Maybe I got the virus in the bus on my way back to Osaka. I still remember the nightmare of having flu virus. My temperature went up to 40 degrees Celsius. I still remember the nightmare of having flu virus. Can you tell if the cough is serious? Can you tell if the cough is coming from the serious disease? Sometimes we cannot stop coughing. Sometimes we cannot stop coughing because of illness or disease or I don't know. Can you tell if the cough is coming from a serious disease? Can you tell whether the cough is coming from a serious disease or not? Only from the sound. Is the coughing the lung problem? Is the coughing happening from the lung problem? Is the coughing happening from a lung problem? Is the coughing happening from a lung problem? Is the cough happening from a lung problem? Is the cough caused by 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 lung problem? The sound of his coughing is strange. He should see a doctor. It might be a serious disease. The sound of his coughing is strange. It might be coming from a serious disease. He should go to see a doctor. He should go to see a doctor. I advised him that he should go to see a doctor because he keep coughing and the sound of the cough is strange and his way of coughing is strange. It might be coming from a serious disease because he is a heavy smoker. Cough, 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 cough. When I cough, I turn away from people and cover my mouth with my hands as manners. When I cough, I usually turn away from people and cover my mouth with my hand. The cough by him might be coming from a serious disease. Can you tell whether the cough is coming from a serious disease? I sometimes cannot stop sneezing. I sometimes sneeze a few times continuously. I sometimes cannot help sneezing continuously. I sometimes cannot help sneezing. What if I wanted to sneeze while I'm playing the piano? Is there any solutions? Are there any solutions? What if I wanted to sneeze while I'm playing the piano? Are there any solutions? If I wanna sneeze during playing the piano, what can I do? Are there any solutions? Are there any resolutions? Yawning might be regarded as rude in the class. Some teachers don't like students yawning. Some teachers don't like students yawning. I often confuse the word dizziness with drowsiness. Dizziness and drowsiness. Dizziness and drowsiness. I often confuse the word dizziness with drowsiness. I sometimes cannot stop sneezing. I sometimes cannot stop sneezing. How long? How far does the sneeze fly? How far does the virus from the mouth fly from the sneeze? How far do the viruses from the mouth in mouth fly from by the sneeze? And how far do the viruses in our mouth fly by the sneeze? Do you know how far? Do you know how far do the viruses in our mouth fly by the sneezing? I was surprised at the spreading pace of the virus. I was surprised at the rapid pace of the spread. The virus spread it faster than expected. The popularity of the idol is spreading more and more. The popularity of the celebrity is spreading more and more. Please spread the map on here. Let's spread the map on the here. Let's spread the map on the table. Let me spread the map here. Please look at the map. We are here now. And according to the information explained on the board, the part of the path is blocked and we cannot take the route, so instead we are going to take another route to reach the cape. Okay, so let's go. Is there a large table enough to be able to spread the map? Is there a big table enough to spread my map? What do you like to do in your spare time? What do you like to do in your spare time? I like to read a book with a cup of coffee at the window in the library. Do you like to take a walk with your pet? Do you have a pet? Which tourist destinations do you recommend that I go? If I am alone, which tourist destinations do you recommend that I go? If only have only 4 hours in Tokyo, which tourist destinations recommend that I go? How much is the population of your city? How large is the population of your city? When I drank the juice, I was surprised at the density of the taste because I forgot to mix it up before drinking it. So the dense ingredients were stocked on the bottom, so I was drinking the ingredients only. That's why I felt so strong taste. In order to alleviate the density of the customers inside, many facilities put limitation on the number of customers allowed to enter. In order to avoid congested density, some facilities put limitation to the number of customers allowed to enter. The population density of my prefecture is smaller than that of Tokyo. The population density of my prefecture is a little larger than that of Fukuoka. The population density of my prefecture is a little smaller than Fukuoka. What is the population of your prefecture? Do you prefer dense or bland coffee? I prefer dense and bitter coffee. I was astonished at the population density in around Shibuya Station. I was astonished by the population density in Yamanote Line. The coffee might be a little bit dense. The soup might be a little bit too dense for some people. The ramen soup might be a little bit too dense for some people. Do you prefer to live in a countryside or in a metro urban city? I gathered my friends around the Shinjuku because they wanted to see the metropolis. Around the Tokyo Metropolitan Government Building. Tokyo Metropolitan Government Building. The Tokyo Metropolitan Building. Metropolitan buildings. Metropolitan. Metropolitan or rustic area. Which do you prefer, metropolitan or rustic area? Metropolis, metropolis, metropolitan city, metropolitan area. Metropolitan or rustic area. Metropolis, 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 metropolis. Good features. Some of the good features living in metropolis are that we can take advantage of frequent public transportations, wide selection of shops, and besides that, many events are held in urban cities. The bad features of living in metropolis are congestion, and the rent fee of the apartments are usually higher than those in countryside, and so on. But it depends on the conditions you are demanding. Some people prefer to live in a metropolis, while others prefer to live in the countryside. It depends on the condition. It depends on what you demand, how you feel. Metropolis, 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 metropolis. Popularity might be decreased. Popularity might decrease with time. The number of tourists decreased drastically after the pandemic, which had a bad effect on many industries, especially tourism industry. In all likelihood, incredible new jobs will be created. At the same time, many current jobs are lost. In all likelihood, I will take on the job offer. All likelihood, probably, I will accept the job offer because I'd like to accumulate experiences gradually. In all likelihood, 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 probably, maybe, presumably, perhaps. you would be able to achieve that. In all likelihood, my crazy ideas will be laughed at. In all likelihood, my crazy ideas will be laughed at and turned down by everybody. In all likelihood, in all likelihood, in all likelihood, in all likelihood, bright future would be waiting for us. In all likelihood, brighter future is waiting for us. So let's have a hope. Let's do our best daily with a hope. According to the weather forecast, it will be sunny tomorrow in all likelihood. Given the information I gathered from the internet, it will be sunny tomorrow in all likelihood. Considering the information I gathered from the internet, it will be sunny tomorrow in all likelihood. As far as I checked my answer, I probably passed in all likelihood. As far as I checked my answer, maybe I passed in all likelihood. In all likelihood. Unfortunately, the number of tourists declined drastically thoroughly after the pandemic, which had a bad effect on many industries, especially tourism industry. I will continue to pursue my career. I will continue to pursue what I'm interested in doing. Not many people can continue to do one thing forever, perpetually, for good, eternally. Bride and groom vow eternal love in front of the priest. The governments are taking actions to stop the declining birth rate. The governments are taking measures in order to stop the declining birth rate. Is there a fire plant nearby? Is there a nuclear plant nearby? The nuclear plant is located on the Pacific Ocean. How many nuclear plants are there? Where is the place where the first nuclear plant was established? One of my senior students are working for the power plant. One of my senior students are working for the power plant. As soon as he entered the company, he was made to climb the electrical pole as practical training. Are you interested in sustainable energy, solar power generation, geothermal power generation, tidal power generation, electric power, wave power generation, wind power generation, and so on. The plant you can see over there recycles PET bottles gathered from the district. The volunteer group supplied the district disaster-affected area with food and drinks. The volunteer group supplied food and drinks to the disaster-stricken area. The volunteer group supplied food and drinks to the disaster-affected area. The volunteer group supplied disaster-stricken area with the food and drinks. The catering service company supplies the company with food and drinks every day. The catering service company supplies the company A with food and drinks every day for lunchtime. The catering service company supplies the company with food and drinks every day, except for Saturdays and Sundays. The catering company supplies the company B with food and drinks every day lunchtime, except for Saturdays and Sundays. How would the life would be if it were not for electricity? I wonder how the life would be like if it were not for electricity now. I wonder how the life would be like if it were not for electricity. I sometimes wonder how the life would be like if it were not for electricity. It must be very inconvenient because most of the things are working with the help of electricity. Most of the products are activated by the electricity. So I sometimes wonder how our life would be like if it were not for electricity. If it had not been for electricity, how would our life would have been like? How would our life would have been like? So electricity is indispensable. Remote meeting is more common now after the pandemic to prevent us from getting infected with the virus. Remote meeting is more common now. Common now. Which is bigger between county and prefecture? Which is bigger in size between prefecture and county? Which is bigger in size between county and province? I highly recommend you visit remote islands in Okinawa if you have enough time and money, because the beaches are so beautiful. Flammable items are not allowed to bring. You are not allowed to bring flammable items into the cabin. Flammable items are not allowed to be brought into the cabin. Thank you for your cooperation. There are some objects, stuffs, which are not allowed to be brought in the cabin. There are some objects which are not allowed to bring which are not allowed to be brought in the cabin. There are some objects which are not allowed to be brought in the cabin. Please check the items you cannot bring in the cabin in the prescription below. Thank you. I need to pass the practical test 6 times in a row so that I could get permission and certificate to operate the machine on my own. I needed to pass the practical test of operating the machine in front of the instructor 6 times in a row so that I could get the permission to operate the machine on my own and to get the certificate. I really don't like driving a car, so I'm really waiting for all of the cars to be automated by AIs. Most of the devices are activated by electricity. So I often wonder how would our life be like if it were not for electricity. Most of the devices are activated by the electricity. So I often wonder how would our life would be like if it were not for electricity. Most of the devices are activated by the electricity. So I often wonder how would our life be like? How would our life would be like? How would our life be like? So I often wonder how our life would be like. I often wonder how our life would be like were it not for electricity. Most of the devices are activated by the electricity, so I often wonder how our life would be like if it were not for electricity. Okay, I will finish speaking here. Thank you for watching. See you next time. See you!